Now, you want to do where one of us takes the lead on the syncing?
No, we just got to send it. You're right.
What do you mean send it?
We're just going to send it, just like we always do.
Just go for the intro?
Yep.
All right, so Andrew, you have to attempt to speak in unison with us when we introduce the show.
Okay.
Because you've watched a lot of the episodes, right?
Yeah, I don't know about a lot of them.
Oh yeah,
it was really hard because I was trying not to watch them because I just didn't want to come on here and seem like it was rehearsed.
Yeah. The irony of this. That sounds
Fair
like bullshit to me, Andrew. So, but anyway, we gotta.
Hey, for what it's worth, we also don't know what we're about to say. So.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. But we're just starting over. All right, so. Welcome to
the Papa Do Preach, the Dad Podcast, episode 4.
Shit. You got that.
We got it.
Fucking Andrew.
We're here with Andrew Savage.
So
be sure to like, follow,
subscribe,
and
click
share.
the notification button. Go on YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts.
That's it this time.
Yeah, that's all we got.
All right.
Perfect.
Send it.
I guess we should start with this week in dadding.
Yep.
Andrew, you want to talk about anything that specifically happened while you were dadding up this week?
Yeah. We can start with a little bit of a quote unquote not argument, but just being a frustrating dad. I was doing a little bit of cleaning up, and I realized that my daughter, as she always does, took her trash, and instead of putting it in the trash can, she put it right beside the trash can. So yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, Jesus Christ, like you took it that
You're
close.
right there. Just
right.
Get it to the finish line.
Yeah.
So, but kids will be kids, so.
Have you considered bringing her dinner halfway to the table?
That's like running 4.9K of a 5K. And just quitting.
Right.
Well, how would we solve a problem like this?
I don't
what
know,
would you
man.
do in that scenario?
It's tough, man. My daughter's
teen tasers.
Tasers?
Yeah, it's the only option.
It's effective. We could use it, but what would you do to make them feel the way you feel when they do it?
Oh, that's a good question.
Like how petty? Like do something petty that you do for them often that they don't realize you do often for them?
Yeah.
Sense.
Like only fold one pant leg?
Yeah, there you go.
Or go to McDonald's and order you a meal and then just don't order them.
Yeah. No, it's paid for. It's at McDonald's waiting for you.
Right. Just pick it up, right?
Let's go grab it.
I got you fries. I brought it to the counter at McDonald's.
Right.
That was a chunk of what needed to be done.
That would be good. I think that's fair.
I think so too.
Essentially, it's the same thing.
Yeah. So,
Pretty much.
What about you, Jake? What happened this week for you while dadding?
Let's think here. Which one do we want to talk about? I'm just going to talk about this one because this one kind of made me upset. Katie has a very a tendency to try to kind of dramatize and exaggerate things. Oh. So we had an amazing weekend. Like we had so much fun. We went to a birthday party, which any parent knows that when you go to a birthday party, you don't have any fucking fun. It's not fun. Well, we went to one where we had fun. Boy. And we went kayaking and,
All right, this is that trip.
Yeah, so we went swimming in the river, in Lynch's River. The kids all had an absolute blast. And Katie's mom came and picked her up the next day, and the first thing out of her mouth was, I almost drowned in the river. And I said, when? No, you didn't. So it's almost like she has a tendency to try to maybe over glorify something that didn't happen so that she has like more of a talking point with her mom. She's 6.
I was going to ask how old
she's
is she?
6.
Okay.
Yeah, no. It's not like she's like 17. She isn't a perfected swimmer, so like I understand if that would have happened, but because it didn't happen, it felt like she was kind of ripping our legs out from under us, and that sucks. Yeah. So I had to have a really strong conversation with her on the phone while her mom was on the phone, while I was assuring her mom, I swear to God, I was in the river. She was never close to drowning.
Breathing effortlessly the entire time.
Promise.
I promise you. You
She
ever almost
was
drowned
never
as a kid?
in danger.
You ever think you're going to almost drown as a kid? Or come close?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Lots of times.
How did your parents almost kill you?
Tubing.
No, all right. What happened?
Well, they just about knock you out, throwing you off of like a wave where your face just bounces off the tube, and then you like come to and you're floating face down in the water.
This sounds like fun.
Dude, it was great.
I didn't do stuff like
We
that.
talked about the 90s and stuff was like the last time you could do fun things. This is like you could beat the shit out of your kids with. We used to go boating and they would torture us on those tubes, man. But
We didn't do that too. We didn't
great.
go boating much. What about you, Andrew?
I have a funny story for this, right?
All right.
So, my father, he was always big on us learning how to swim. He knew how to swim, but he didn't really know how to teach us how to swim. So, what he did was he took me and my sister to the pool, and he threw us both in the deep end, and literally said,
sink or swim.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
And luckily,
Do you miss your sister?
no, look, and here's the crazy part. So luckily, we both were able to swim. But I asked him, I got out, and I said, well, what would have happened if we both would have drowned? He said he would have saved my sister.
Damn.
Yes.
That's how my grandfather told my mother how to swim too. He just threw her off a boat.
That's the Titanic method.
Right.
Dude. Women and children first.
Dude, I used to. We had public pools on Long Island that the hot lifeguards used to teach us how to swim. It was awesome. So we go with the diving board and they wait for us in the water.
Uh-huh.
So I was afraid to jump off the diving board for way longer than was appropriate.
Like, oh no.
So Wendy Peppercorn. So, which I'm aware of how much I look like that character from The Sandlot. By the way.
yeah.
Yeah, wait till my new glasses
man.
come. They're very, what's it, squints? They're very
Yeah,
squints.
Yep.
So, I almost drowned. Well, I almost thought I was drowning once in my uncle's pool. I was trying to swim underneath the raft that somebody was on, and I kind of lost track of where I was and started panicking and trying to get up, and they weren't feeling me. It scared the f*** out of me. So, but
How deep was the pool?
like 4 feet, but I was stuck under a raft. I was stuck under a raft and I was panicking.
Thought you were gonna say like 8.
No. I was young. I was,
It was waist high.
yeah. It might have been up to my nips at that age. I was younger. So, but I was just panicking from it. So, but this weekend dadding for me, we took my daughter to see Lilo and Stitch, which was, the movie was good. This is the second time we've taken to her a movie. She's 2 years old. The first time went better than this time. She was definitely more defiant, more flipping out, but there was a feeling of solidarity with all the parents, because we were maybe 4th or 5th worst kid in that movie theater.
That's good. That's pretty solid.
Yeah, there
Your
was
second
like,
time too, so it's not,
yeah,
not too bad.
and there was like a bond, like of eye contact as we walked
Yeah.
out of the movie together. Like, we made it. But the movie was awesome. That was a good movie. Me and my wife also saw the latest Mission Impossible.
Yep.
Mission Impossible like 15? What are they up to?
Something like that. They got about as many of those as Fast and Furious movies at this point.
You know, David Spade said that on his podcast too. He says it's
Really?
like Fast and Furious too, and I forget when. I think he said they're up to number 9.
Wow.
But-
At least I know there's an X, which would insinuate 10.
And yeah.
It's
Fast and Furious 11, Family Forever.
I hated those movies, by the way.
Yeah, they're pretty terrible.
All of them.
Wow.
Vin Diesel.
I like them, man. Especially the first 2, 3.
The first one's the only one I saw. I had a friend, man, who was all amped up on it. I was like, you have to watch it. And I like sat through it with him. I'm just like, really?
I do like the first one.
Vin Diesel is the fucking worst.
He is.
He can't read anything.
Yeah.
You know,
No.
the third one had Ludacris, so that one was kind of dope.
It was Little
Yeah.
Chris.
A rapper, man, from ATL.
It's not Chris Brown. is it?
No, that's his name.
Ludacris.
That guy.
Luda.
Oh,
Yeah,
Ludacris.
yeah.
I think he said Little Chris. I know
No,
Luda.
yeah, Ludacris.
Little chicken and beer.
Yes,
Little-
yes,
Yes, yeah, no, Luda I love. I
Yeah.
thought, yeah. and but these movies get a little ridiculous. It's so close to Threat Level Midnight.
Dude, you're so accurate.
No, I mean, the stunts are awesome.
I said, forget about it, cuh.
They're so good. There's like literally they're saying things like the entire world is in danger and you're the only living person I trust to save it.
quick, go get in your Nissan Skyline and drift. That'll save everyone.
If not, every living soul on the planet is gone. Like, it's that close. It's,
Yeah.
I don't even think I'm misquoting.
Threat Level
man.
Midnight?
No, the movie is that bad. But I will say the stunts are f***ing awesome. There were some creative scenes. The way they did it, it was cool. I liked the one before it.
Before which one?
The one number
One.
VBI.
VBI.
What is it? Is it more than the Super Bowl right now?
Yeah, we're getting close.
It's that one I liked. I mean, I like Tom Cruise. I think it's incredible what he does with these movies. He's psycho, but so what? Who cares? So,
It is cool though, because you see like all those reels where he's actually performing every stunt. So, I mean, he's
insane.
He's
strapped
attached to something, but
Yeah,
like
a plane.
with him flying on the side of a plane, dude,
Yeah.
And he's like a couple years younger than my parents.
and he's like a couple inches taller than my 8-year-old.
Well, little dogs live longer too.
Yeah,
So I think there's a thing to that.
yeah.
But, yeah. So
He is a vampire, dude. He's looked the same for like
He is.
25 years.
Yes.
how old is he actually?
73.
66.
There's no way.
I just made that.
My parents are 73. I think he's like 67 though.
Is he really?
Yeah. Hey Siri,
See?
how old is Tom Cruise?
This would be one of those moments. That's why I have this monitor here, but there's nobody to f***ing look it up.
62.
62.
Thank you, Joe.
Wow.
Damn, he's my dad's age. What the
yeah.
f*** is my dad doing? How come he's not riding on the side of a plane?
Why isn't he jumping off of cliffs on a motorcycle and parachuting to the ground 9 times to get one?
He's
take?
got plenty of time. He's retired now.
I think they did 9 takes for that.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh my
for that.
God.
That
So they wasted 9
motorcycle.
dirt bikes?
I assume they didn't use the same one. That's a good point. Did you think it was going to be better than this, Andrew?
I'm loving this, man. I promise you, I'm loving this.
No more intelligent conversation.
He was
No,
like,
it's
damn,
really-
I
it's
thought
really
they were
chill.
smart.
No, this is chill.
Nobody is.
We learned,
accused you of that.
we learned
ever.
last episode with Common Core Math that we are indeed not smart.
I haven't seen Common Core Math yet. They're not doing it in.
I had to put a graphic up at the
Preschool.
bottom that said that we don't support Common Core Math or any other new
Math.
curriculum
Oh,
that
man.
adheres to the softness of the life today.
complicates it for no reason is really
Yeah.
what it's doing.
Yep,
right?
yep.
Are you
I get
dealing
it.
with that?
Wait, what?
Well, your daughter's almost 18 now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So
So
I'm past
Did
all
you?
of that.
Did you have to go through any
No.
of that?
Well, so I came into
Because they
life-
were making that conversion.
I came into her life when she was 12. Right. So, and to be honest, in the beginning, I wasn't really heavy with the schoolwork. I didn't really have to take over until she got to high school.
Yeah.
And by then, she pretty much knew what she was doing. So,
Yeah.
yeah, and we should probably like clarify that Andrew's a stepfather.
yes.
And that is a role I take, or I'm sorry, I'm not a stepfather, but people who take that seriously, I have a serious amount of respect for. I was lucky enough to have 2 dads in my life. My biological father and I were close, but you know, he was what he was. He was an alcoholic who died at 50 years old, and really the only farther thing, I guess the real thing that he taught me was how to show your kid that you always love him. He was a very loving dad. Everything else is my stepdad. He's there since my earliest memory. He paid all my hospital bills. I was a sick kid all the time. He's the one who raised us, taught me, gave me my work ethic. There's a lot of things he taught me, and I want to get into those at some point too. Start talking about like, what did your dad teach you with our guests?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So just to summarize how much respect I have for that position, I feel like everybody should when people are taking that role seriously.
I appreciate that. Man.
So yeah, I didn't want it to sound like, you know, your daughter. Yeah, I met her when she was 12.
Right. I was a deadbeat for 11 years and then just popped back up.
So, she never wanted to come over. But you came into her life at 12.
Mm-hmm.
How old was she when you met her? No, I'm just kidding.
12, man. That's a trick question, man.
No, I was joking that you were 12.
Look, we're gonna get into that story later.
All right. So when you met her, tell us about that. Were you dating her mother already when you met her? Or did you guys know each other before you were dating?
So the reason why I say we'll talk about it later is because I actually met my wife when I was 12. My wife was she was my substitute teacher. Yeah. And
Wait, what?
Yeah, my wife was my substitute teacher.
Brazzle.
Right?
Now I will say I tried to holler at that time, but she wouldn't give me any play. But about
Thank God.
right,
Yeah.
right.
No, that's good. Say it just like that. No, that looks.
But about
No, it was convincing.
About 12 years later, I ran into her when I was at college. She just happened to be there as well. She was dating somebody at the time, so she still wouldn't really give me play, but we did start a friendship.
When did your wife start giving you play?
Look, 6 years ago. We were married for 5, so 6 years ago.
6 years ago.
Yes,
All right.
yes, I was 28.
Okay.
Yeah, so long time coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 12 to oh my God.
Yeah.
You had 12 to 28. I should be quicker at this math. You had a 16-year buildup.
Yes.
And you got to marry her.
right. It's crazy, right?
Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
Man. She hates when I tell the story too, so
Yeah.
I'm sure she's watching it. She's cringing.
What
right
teachers
now.
did you want to sleep with, Jake?
Miss Webster, for sure. She was a Maxim model.
No.
She was a model.
Swear to God, dude, she was hot.
Really?
Yeah, there's a reason I didn't hesitate. I was already prepared for that. But she got married. She was my homeroom teacher. She was very pretty, but she was also very cool. So, not in a creepy way. It was like fiending. I
Yeah.
wasn't like sitting in the back of her room like edging.
Are we? All right, we're getting that close to it, huh? All right. So mine was Mr. Martin.
Look, when you said you had 2 dads, I was like, hold up, 2
No,
dads.
yeah, this is not some like
makes
gay
so
dad
much
sitcom show. No, my stepdad was there from my earliest memory. My dad was a part of my life. And they were both part of it. That's a different episode. I want to talk more about you.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
when you met your stepdaughter, were you already dating her mom, or what was that transition like?
Yes. So, especially in our culture, they're not big on you meeting the kids first, right? So, even though my wife already knew me, she still was hesitant, to just bring me around her daughter. So we were talking for a couple of months, and then it just so happened that one day she was taking her daughter to the park, which is right around the corner from my house. And I said, "Hey, look, I'll come meet you." I wasn't really like pushing to meet her daughter, but it just happened that was the time that I could see her mom. So it all happened naturally. And I will say, typically kids love me, so I know exactly what to do. I came to the park with some ice cream. Daughter instantly fell in love with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Big swing there.
Right.
I'm going to go out on a limb
50-50
and bring
chance of that
kid
working.
ice cream.
Either you love it or you're
Hope this
lactose
works.
intolerant.
Right.
So, I guess that is something I never thought of.
Yeah. Which
She's
is
a
crazy.
diabetic.
But it's crazy. She is lactose intolerant, but she still loved it though.
I bet.
Yeah. So, all right. So she had the ice cream. She's shitting her pants.
Yes.
You guys making out like a
You're
gangbusters.
helping cleaning it from down the leg.
So, all right. So when you met her, then were you introduced as someone or just a friend?
A friend, yeah, at first. Yeah.
How long were you just a friend?
I would say not long. I would say maybe 2 or 3 months after I met her, and then she realized that I was coming around often, and I would come over for dinner, and at some point it was
Mr. Andrew makes breakfast a lot.
Oh, but you wanna know what's funny though? She was kind of like my wingman a little bit. Like she loved me so much, she would say like, "Hey, can he stay? Can he stay?" I'm like, "Can I stay?"
Yeah. Oh, I hate to disappoint her.
Darn it.
For her. For her.
Said she wanted us to watch 50 Shades of Grey.
Do it for the children.
Oh man.
What was the conversation like when you guys actually sat down and said, I didn't want to get too appropriate with every joke that went through my head, so I'll just,
That's good.
We never had like a formal conversation. I think it's kind of just understood at some
Does she
point.
know now?
I mean, she should. She lives with us. But yeah, we never had like a formal conversation. It kind of just happened naturally.
All right, well. So that's your advice to people in this situation, just kind of duck the talk.
To be honest, I think it's
Because that's what I'm thinking about. Like, people are, like, if I was in that scenario, I would feel anxious about, like, sitting down and having that talk.
Yeah, I think it's a case by case though. I would say when I came into my wife's life, she wasn't dating. She had not been dating for at least a couple of years. So when I came around, even though I was Mr. Andrew, I think at some point it was perceived that me and her mom were more than just friends.
Okay. So now Jake, you're a stepdad. I'm gonna let you kind of talk a little bit about your scenario.
Yeah. I'll second that. It's case by case. Because, I mean, I've got 2 stepchildren, technically.
Did it go differently with each one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Different scenarios, different reasons. So, one of the things I've been talking to Tom about is wanting to finally be able to open up about, I have the ultimate blended family. I have a stepson. His dad is very much in the picture. I have a stepdaughter that I don't look at her as my stepdaughter because her father passed away when she was 3.
Wow.
I have my daughter, so I have her mother living somewhere else. She's married, and they have a daughter, and then her husband has a daughter also, and then we have Harper with me and my wife. So I mean, we have 4 kids with 4 different sets of parents at a certain point. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about was that the introduction phase was, it's one of those that with my wife, she needed to know right away, if you're coming over and you're spending time with me and you're going to get to know my kids, I need to know, can you deal with all of the chaos of, the different parenting situations and going to and from, and now you've got Katie that's going to and from her mom's house, and man, it's a lot. It is a lot of work. Are both of her kids? Is it just one?
It's just one. So there's only one child, and he's here. He's around. He doesn't come over often, but he is around. And to be honest, it was smooth on his end. I really think he was happy that I was in the picture. Right? Like he felt like I was a good man, good role model.
That's good though.
Yeah, so I didn't really have any drama there. Yeah.
That's the same thing with me. Like with Katie's mom, like I adore her husband. Like he's the coolest. Like I can go watch football and stuff with him, and I know that when she's not with me, she's super safe.
Yeah,
and she's loved and she's cared for and she's protected. And although he likes Clemson, I can live with that.
Yeah, no, I get it.
As long as it's not Michigan.
We have professional teams up north.
113,000 seats in the college stadium.
Yeah.
Largest football stadium.
Really?
86,000. Huh. Well, what's the Cowboys up to now?
I have no
They got to
idea.
be like in the 90s, but there's no stadium in professional sports that has more than 100,000, aside from like soccer fields that hold like the entire city of like Sri Lanka. Is that a city?
I don't know if that's a word.
It's definitely a word.
I think it's a country.
It's close enough, right?
Yeah, that's what happens when you go in the pool, right?
Sink Lanka.
Shrink Lanka.
Is that what happened when you were stuck under the raft?
That's the Yiddish word.
Were you Sri Lankan under the raft?
Every time.
No, yeah, the blended family stuff. Like I wanted to clarify a little bit because I sound like I'm really harsh on JoJo because she's the most vocal out of all my kids, and people that know me are probably like, man, you're just like fucking hating on your stepdaughter, but I don't look at her like my stepdaughter. She's my daughter, so like I don't treat her any differently than.
So, let me be clear. Your argument on, or your rebuttal to, you're really hating on your stepdaughter is, no, I'm hating on my daughter.
Correct. I'm disciplining her properly because she doesn't get special treatment. I try to give her the most normal childhood, especially given the circumstances of what happened. You know, she was 3 years old when that happened. So I've been in her life longer than her dad was in her life, but she knew her dad, even if it was just a little bit. She knew him. So when things get tough, that's where she turns to. And I mean, it's sad, and it's a tough thing to navigate because I always try to tell her, me and my wife both, like it is okay to have emotions. It's okay to be, frustrated and sad, but it's not okay to take that out on the rest of us. Because we're all here for you. So that's where she struggles. So I failed to kind of clarify anything going on about my relationship with JoJo. I just came on here and was like, yeah, she's being a fucking nightmare. But there's a lot more to it. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of emotion inside of her that she is trying to process as an 8-year-old now And
Holy
how the hell do you do that as an 8-year-old? It's hard for me to process some of my emotions, and I'm 34. So
no, I get it. No, trust me, I get it.
Yeah. So are you guys old enough to watch Mr. Rogers?
Yeah.
Because that's, I don't know if kids today would respond to it, but that was like a good show for trying to teach children how to properly like express their emotions and to deal with it.
Yeah.
They don't make shows like that anymore, though. It's crazy.
No, they have all those shows that like almost come off like almost like pandering, like big feelings. It's okay to have big feelings. You're like that's. It's Miss Rachel. I'm sorry.
We don't mention her name.
I came in yesterday.
As you know from watching the last episode.
Yeah.
I came in yesterday from work, and my wife was talking about how Harper was such a nightmare. And when I got there, Miss Rachel must have just got turned on. And so as soon as I walked in the door, I'm expecting Harper to just be falling apart. And I walk in, and she's just going... Icky, sticky, sticky, sticky bubble. She's like doing the whole dance, and she's in a great mood. And I'm like, what the f*** are you talking about? She looks like she's having a blast.
So you might want to thank Miss Rachel.
Thank you, Miss Rachel, for saving my wife yesterday. I'm sorry that I told you to shut the f*** up last episode.
I'm not. Down. That was kind of like a regression from some pretty serious talk.
I'm sorry. That's what we do, man. We take a serious subject and we slowly spiral towards comedy, but that really is it was a serious subject. I'm glad you're here having, I had my other friend that was going to be on here, and he's in the same situation where his wife has 2 kids, neither of them are his. And I have so much respect for that, because it's hard to step in and do that and treat them like your own.
Yeah.
Knowing that like they're not my blood children. Like so many people get so hung up on that shit.
Which
and
is
it's
crazy
like
to me.
if you're a dad, you're a dad. I don't care if you're a stepdad, you're a half dad.
Right.
I don't care.
Right.
I mean,
you're the father figure in that house.
Yes.
And you are the role model, and I have so much respect for people that step up when you don't have to.
Same here.
There's so many times where, there's no requirement that says you have to do this, but you do it because
you love them.
You love them like your own, and that's the most commendable, respectable thing that I can think of with kids and step parenting. I mean, it's tough.
Yeah, definitely not easy. It's not easy.
Yeah, I don't even like calling my stepdad. I never made the distinction until my dad died, because I did have a relationship with both of them, and I just felt like when I talked about my dad and talked about something that he was there, it was almost like I'm not replacing my dad, but I also hate when I describe my stepdad as my stepdad. Like it just doesn't feel right. Yeah, I was an expensive kid.
Yeah.
So, I was like literally until the 5th grade, I was in the hospital every other month for about a week.
Wow.
So, I was born with all these issues with like my trachea and breathing problems. And then I used to get sick and hyperventilate. And just because of how I was born, they always thought it was something to do with that. They kept trying to treat that. And then around 5th grade, some doctor's like, I think his tonsils are swelling up when he gets strep throat. And it's closing off his breathing. They removed my tonsils out of noise. Never happened again.
Wow.
But until then, it was 6 week-long hospital bills a year that my stepdad paid for. So,
slightly off subject, but on subject with what you just said. JoJo gets she chokes on food because she gets swollen tonsils, and she's had strep 8 times every year.
Wow.
She gets it so much, and they always tell her that they're going to take them out once she hits a certain number. I feel like that would be the same thing, and all of her problems would go away if they would just take them out, and they refuse to do it. And I don't understand it. It drives us crazy.
is she old enough to get it taken out?
She's 8.
Oh, JoJo, sorry. You got so many kids. I can't expect.
Yeah, there's a bunch. I have I think it's called a gaggle of children.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's a herd.
Yeah. A Mongol horde.
I remember the night I got my tonsils out, coming home from the hospital that day. So The Simpsons. Do you remember the Simpsons episode when they go to family? You didn't watch the Simpsons? movie?
I have. I watched like almost all of them.
All right. So do you remember when they went to the family therapy and they had the shock treatment and they could shock each other with the buzzer? That was the episode that was on that night when my tonsil just came out, and I was laughing and crying at the same time because it was just like when someone says something that offends you, let them know by hitting the shock buzzer, and they're all just getting each other back with it.
Randomly, like the only episode of The Simpsons that I ever remember there was an episode where Springfield was trapped inside of a dome. That's all I remember.
Yeah, I kind of remember that. I stopped watching it in the 90s. I mean, it's been on for like 50 years.
Yeah.
So,
what are some things that you do, like when it comes to, I'm not going to say disciplining, but when dealing with sort of issues with the kids? I mean, do you take charge, or do you let her take charge? You let your wife take charge, and you just kind of are the supporting cast?
It was trial by error for me.
Yeah.
Being that my child is a girl, she's my daughter.
That don't matter.
No, for me it's just right.
Oh, sorry.
Even if she was my biological daughter,
Yeah.
I couldn't see myself putting my hands on her.
Right.
So in my mind, even before this came about, like I always
spanking, not like throwing against the wall.
No, like spanking.
Okay.
Yeah. So I always said that even before the situation that if I had a daughter, I would let the mom be the disciplinarian.
Yeah.
And I would be more of just that voice and the background. So coming into it, I was the loving one. I was the fun one. My wife was the hammer. But it got
when that voice comes out.
Yeah.
Though, has hit the fan.
Oh yeah. And that's the thing, right? I don't have to put my hands on because I very rarely
she knows.
Yeah, I very rarely get mad. But if I get to that point, she knows.
That's an effective method. Like my stepdad was frustratingly calm, but when he got mad, it was fucking freeze up.
Yeah.
That's how my dad is. He's so calm in a situation. You know my dad?
No.
You know my dad?
I haven't met your dad, no.
All right. Well, my dad is like the calmest person you'll ever meet, but he'll also hold a grudge for his entire life. But he was the same way. He was very calm, very analytical, and if he ever got to where he was going, you were getting f***ed up.
Oh, wow. Yeah, my dad was military, so he was from the jump. You knew he didn't play.
I don't mean that he abused us. I meant your mentality was like, holy shit, I've gone so far that I made this calm, fun spirit break.
Wow.
Psychological abuse is so much more permanent.
Dude. I am the way that I am today because my dad was like that.
Wow.
And by that, I mean I lose my shit on my kids all the time.
Yeah, I don't know where I get it from. I mean, probably my mother yelled a lot, the Italian upbringing. She'd be like, my mother yelled, I yelled. She's gonna hate when she sees that.
Yeah, no, I'm keeping that impression in there.
I mean, close your eyes. It's almost like she's in the room.
She also says, I'm walking here.
F you. It's such a bad impression.
Don't worry, your family will be the only ones offended. My in-laws will be like, F you. My father-in-law will take all offense to that.
Yeah.
All.
Yeah, it's a stupid. I'm not even offended like from the whole Italian side of it. I'm offended just from the lack of humor, the played out joke.
Mm-hmm. It seems like it's working. You seem aggravated.
Yeah, but these are the reasons why. Okay,
give me the calm reasons. You just Illuminati me. What did you do?
I do this with my daughter at the dinner table, and she does it too. I go
Mine's woosah.
Is
that Bad Boys?
I don't know.
It is Bad Boys. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Woosah.
Is Goose Fraba from Anger Management?
Yeah. Like stepping in as a stepdad.
Yeah.
Where do you draw the line? Like I've never had to spank Bryce. Mm-hmm. Like his dad's
you didn't
very
have
much.
to, but you did.
No. Oh. But his dad is very much in the picture, so like I don't handle a lot of disciplinary stuff. I'll fuss at him when he's being like disrespectful to his mom, but that's few and far between now. I'm so happy he's at the age where he's like wants to shower by himself, not like he was showering with anybody else. I meant like on his own, like accord.
Yeah.
He will just.
So happy I don't have to shower with him anymore.
No, it'll just be.
You guys heard that, right?
It'll be 4 o'clock. It'll be 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and he's just like, "I'm gonna go take a shower." So now you don't have to ask him to do it. You don't have to ask him to brush his teeth. You don't.
How old is he?
He's 12. He just turned 12. actually 2 days ago.
Oh, so he's probably taking long showers.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's like your 5th shower today, buddy.
No, so I don't have to like I don't have to be a part of that disciplinary like part of it almost at all because
That's a blessing.
He's very impatient and he'll be like, hey, when are we doing this? 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 When are we doing this?
It sounds
That's
great.
that's like where I'll have to be like, hey, like, yo, you're driving us crazy, dude. But like JoJo, I'm not her stepdad. I'm her dad. So it's like I don't know where to draw the line because am I her stepdad in her eyes or am I her dad in her eyes?
Yeah.
So I talked to her about that. Like, this isn't any news. This isn't if she happens to see this. I hope she sees this like later down the road.
Yeah. When she
This
got
is
to
where
stand
I'm
alone.
at right now with us, where I'm 100% her dad in my heart.
That's all that matters.
And
You're
she
probably
might not
just-
look at it, but she'll understand it one
She
day.
will.
That
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
I'm
I'm
definitely.
like going to bat for her. I'm battling
Yeah.
with her because she knows better, and I'm looking out for her long term down the road.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's all I care about is that she knows that at some point.
Well, yeah, I will say
'Cause
that.
it's not right now.
No, trust me, I get it. I get it.
I mean, the
Went through that phase
only
too.
thing that's going to do it is time and like
Yeah.
just proving
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah, we went through that phase. My wife is a twin, so her and her twin lived together pretty much their whole life, and then yeah. no, look, if she sees this, look, oh, I'll get,
I mean,
this is going
Wait,
to be
no,
so trouble.
no.
so what's her twin's name? Like
So-
Steven? Is it a
No. So
Nice.
my wife's name is Sherelle, and her sister's name is Michelle.
Oh, that's even more confusing.
But yeah, so pretty much my wife's sister has a child who's the same age as my daughter. So they pretty much grew up and lived together their whole life. And then kind of when I came into the picture, I kind of was looked at some point with my daughter that at first I was the fun guy, something new, and then whenever me and her mom
She got tired of your bullshit.
me and her mom got serious, and we got married, and her mom moved in. I kind of uprooted her from what she knew as her norm. So it went from me being, oh, I love Andrew, to why is Andrew here? Like, why can't I go back with my aunt? So we went through that phase. But
How old is she then?
that was like 13, 14.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a rough patch, man. It was but it was nothing that I could do. Like, she had to figure it out on her own.
especially already being so when you met her she was
12.
12.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's pretty early on in the relationship
Yeah.
still,
Yeah.
and that's also far enough along for her in her.
Yeah. Maturity.
Progress.
Yeah, to know. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
a tough age.
Yeah.
13 is.
Yeah.
Thank God Bryce is like making the proper turn. He went from being like all over the place, like ADHD times a million, to I think that he's settling into puberty, helping him like
Yeah.
He found something to focus on.
Yes.
Women.
Yes.
Or whatever he's into. I'm not making
Yeah.
sense.
No, but that's a really tough age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it with him, but I am worried about it with my
I don't,
because they're girls. and
Yeah,
they-
and it's
I was never a
definitely different.
13-year-old girl. But my sister was, and I lived in a house with
Yeah.
that fucking nightmare. And the shit she got away with saying to my parents.
Same.
Yeah, I mean, I was an asshole too, though. Like,
we dove into that. You were
We got
6 or
not-
7. Is that what we
what's
said?
that?
You were 6 or 7. when
No,
you started
6th
dating?
grade when it got bad.
That's not what I heard.
Yeah, you've been talking to my mother.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I was a little shit, and I do want to get into that when we have like a one-on-one episode and just kind of talk about the absolute nightmare it was to raise us. Andrew, how bad was it to raise you?
I was a great child, to be honest with you. I swear I was. My biggest problem was I talked too much. But outside of that, like I was chill. My sister, she was the one, but I was super chill.
Well, what was the difference when you say she was the one? Was the difference with you and your sister?
She, when it came to authority, she didn't really bow down. Like, she was a rebel. Like, she. If you say go left, she was gonna go right. I was more of I kind of got in line. My dad said do something, I would do it.
Who's older?
She's older. I'm the baby. Yeah, she's the oldest. Yeah.
Oh, thank God. Because my daughter is just literally whatever you tell her not to do.
Oh.
How is she now?
She's actually a lot better. Yeah, okay. She's a lot better. Yeah.
She's in prison.
No,
but she listens.
No, she's mellowed out now. You know how it is when you get older. You realize that some of the stuff is not worth the energy that you would put into when you're younger. So
yeah, I definitely. I was probably like 35 when I kind of like chilled out over arguing over shit that was, and it still stirs up a couple of times. Some of the people we work with are on shit.
No. Good. I got one more year and then I'll be out of it. Cool.
Yeah, you're still there.
I stir it up. I don't stir it up on purpose. I gotta solve it now. We talked about that too. I feel like if I divulge from it, my wife always says like, let's just take a night.
I see what you mean.
Let's relax. Yeah. And we'll talk about it tomorrow. And I'm like, all right, cool. And then 10 minutes later, I'm like, what the f*** is wrong?
I was the same way.
Why can't I fix it?
I was the same way.
I think it's anxiety.
Yeah.
I just got this is going to sound depressing. No. I just got prescribed like for severe anxiety and depression and all that stuff. But and I'm not saying that it's my kid's fault.
You a toaster and a bath?
Yeah. I'm not saying it's not my kid's fault. I have so much going on all the time because of the blended family, because of my work, because of trying to do things for myself and then feeling guilty for doing things for myself. That's such a tough thing to do as a dad.
No, I get it. We have so much pressure. And then we don't really talk about it. We just do it.
No,
right?
That's why we have this, because we have nobody to talk to about it. And there's so many people out there that I know feel the same way. And I don't want them to feel like they're the only people, because there ain't no way in hell that you're alone in your feeling. There is a lot of pressure, and there is nobody to talk to about it, because you're supposed to be the strong one.
Right.
The first 2 years. So I say this with my wife on how I think a household should work. I know you guys give me shit like my wife does everything. I do plenty in my house. But my wife really does take care of our kid.
Yeah.
She does.
Yeah.
I take care of my wife. And I believe...
So through the transitive property, you take care of your kid.
Well, because I'm trying to get my daughter... Everything she needs right now is my wife.
Yeah.
So, like when I'm home, I cook every meal. I love cooking, though. That's just... That is part of like the Italian culture in general. So I love cooking for my family. I do fold laundry. I do dishes.
Just one pant leg, though.
Yeah, just I mean, I have boundaries, but there's when I'm home, I do those things. Like I'm hesitating because there's so much that she thinks needs to be cleaned before it would even be on my radar that I never get to it. I can't remember the last time I swept them off the floor because she's just like a dog hair fell on the ground, and then she's on it. It's insane. So, but that's what I think the dynamic should be, at least what I believe is, the mom's there to take care of the kids, the dad there is to take care of the mom. Who's taking care of the dad? And not that my wife doesn't. Like she does everything for me too, but there's a feeling to that.
Yeah.
At times.
My wife is my hero for that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's the dynamic I feel. But there's so much like teamwork involved in the blended family situation that I feel like I'm unable. If it was just me, Sam, Harper, I feel like it would be that dynamic. But she also works from home, so I mean we're tag teaming everything.
What do you do for you?
Golf.
That's something.
Yeah.
That's
not
something.
that often, and when I go, I always feel guilty, and it makes me feel like crap. Because I shouldn't feel guilty I literally go like once every 2-3 months.
You got to do something more. You got to find, because golf is
I have
you're there for like 12
I'll be
hours.
honest with you, I have this now, and I'm eternally grateful that we have this, because this is something that
you owe me.
Yeah, this is something that I know that it's work for me at the end of the day. But this part of it is very therapeutic for me, and it's very good for me to be able to... It's a constant reminder of I'm now speaking out my issues. I'm not arguing with my wife about them. And then after I say them, I'm able to listen back to them and be like, here's what I wish I could do different. Here's what I know I should do different, because I'm hearing how I'm talking about it. And then on top of that, I've got my father-in-law, my dad...
everyone's hearing it.
They're listening to it, and they're able to give input from people that I wouldn't normally like step out of my comfort zone to just go talk to about it. Instead, I'm here talking to a smaller group of people, and I'm just letting my feelings and my emotions as a dad like come out naturally, and it's a good breather from being around. Like, walk in my house right now, it's a fucking disaster. There's toys everywhere. There's blocks. Is loud. I love it.
The mayhem and the loud was there, but your house is not a disaster. It's just.
Did you walk in there today?
Not today.
No. Harper's been on one today. I walked in and I was like, Jesus. I mean, there was a storm outside, but there was also a storm inside the house.
Yeah, the neighborhood's a fucking disaster.
Yeah, I saw the water. Yeah.
See how flooded it is?
Yeah. What about you, Andrew? What do you do for yourself?
That's one thing that I'm trying to find. At one point, it was golf. And then I started sucking really, really bad. So it wasn't fun anymore. And now I go to counseling every 2 weeks. Yeah. And my counselor has been on me about trying to find something, but I don't know what that is.
I'm in therapy too. It's
definitely needed. Yeah. But I'm really trying to find something that I enjoy. Like, I played a video game, but even then, like you said, sometimes I feel guilty even playing a video game just because it's just.
I'm in the house. So I haven't even left and I feel bad.
Yeah. What do you do to like? What are you supposed to do to not feel guilty?
I don't know.
That's why we go to therapy to ask what are we supposed to do. Yeah. I'm in therapy as well because they found out that I basically put everything on the sheet as severe except for wanting to hurt myself. Like, I don't know what to do. And I mean, it's easy to laugh about it now, but that was what she talked to me about was the same thing. Every time I say something, I'm like, I just feel guilty. Like, even trying to go have like a fucking date night with my wife, we both feel guilty then. Now it's not just one of us. We feel guilty for leaving our kids with somebody. But that's not a terrible thing because it shows that we love our family enough that it bothers us that we don't want to be selfish. But at the same time,
it's needed.
Always being selfless.
Yeah.
I don't feel guilty.
No, that's good. Hang on to it. Utilize it. Spend the time with your family. Realize that you're doing. I know that I'm not doing anything wrong. Like when I go golf, I know that there's nothing wrong with that. I always discuss it with my wife. I know that there's no reason for me to feel guilty, but I do because I just want to be there.
Well, remind yourself, because this is all right. So my me time is going to the gym. You know, walking the dogs, going to the gym, and walking the dogs is not always relaxing. Georgie's like f***ing shark fishing. Like, he sees another dog, a bicycle, sometimes just a person in their own yard, and he like barks like he's trying to protect me, and he just has no concept of being tied to a lead. Anyway, but the big one is going to the gym for me, and I just. The fact is, if I'm not okay, I can't be there for my family. So that is very much on the surface. I'm past the point of feeling bad about it. I don't feel guilty, but I feel bad when my wife doesn't do enough for herself. For it, you know, there was, you know, oh, by the way, I can talk about it. My wife is pregnant. So, yes,
congratulations.
The blood test came back. Everything's healthy. That's all we were waiting to talk about with it.
It's a blessing.
And she's in the first trimester, so she hasn't been going to the gym, but she goes to the gym too. And that's a bit of her time. But that's when I'm not working on myself, I really f***ing spiral. Like, when I got, the first 2 years Amelia was alive, I was working out. I'd work out, but I had no direction with it. I'd work out way too much. I'd get injured. I wouldn't be working out. I'd have to heal. During that time, I would really spiral into just like scrolling. And instead of my morning starting off right, I was sitting on the couch drinking coffee, and then just like this laziness would get over me, and then I wouldn't want to do the rest of the day, and then it would internalize into this negative loop, and that was definitely like, I could be home, I could be doing things, but when I wasn't taking care of myself, I really wasn't there for my family either. You know, this year I hired a trainer, and he's someone that I'd love for us to talk to at some point, because he really specializes in like busy people who have lives and fitting this into their life, and knowing how to do things correctly. This is the longest I've gone into any year without an injury. I'm exercising less. Walking is a big one in general. I've had a goal this year of 10,000 steps a day. This is the most mentally consistent year I've had since I've become a father. So, and I have more energy because I'm 10,000 steps is roughly 5 miles, and
It's a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
it's really not though. So, like, there's a bunch of little things you can do. Like, I park in the back of Walmart. I got a fucking mile and a half, 2 miles in every Walmart trip. So, and fast because I hate that place with a passion.
Same.
So I'm going through there. So, I park in the back of parking lots. I don't park near the office at work anymore. And then even at the gym, between sets, I take 3-minute rests, and then I just kind of walk circles around the machine the whole time. So, I mean, today I'm already over 10. Where am I at? Humble brag, by the way. It's a humble brag.
Hey, I'm cool with it.
Yeah. So
I take like 10 to 15 steps because I drive so much every day. It is
you
aggravating.
probably take more than you think when you're walking around.
Oh no,
Hamilton.
100%. I walk around a lot.
Yeah.
I'm always on the move, but I do sit
I'm at almost 12,000
stoic
today.
in a.
Wow.
11,758.
I would be curious to see what I'm at.
So, but I mean, you got to take pictures from all over the house.
I'm at like 280 miles today. Does that count?
Right.
Driving?
Like
Driving.
same here. Same's been a day.
Yeah, I mean, I do over 100 a day, every day. So yeah, just to kind of wrap that up, don't feel guilty. You're not doing it for you in the first place. Yeah, like if you're working on yourself, you're doing it for your family. And even when I was single, I was doing it for my family. Like I was trying to find a life partner and have a family. And everything I was working on myself about was to be a life partner and to be that person that would attract someone like my wife.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Andrew, you gotta
find something. Yeah.
You gotta have you.
But it's so crazy though, because I would have never thought that it would be this hard to find something that I enjoy.
Yeah.
But to be honest, when you become a father and you become a husband, it's like,
It's hard to shut it off.
yeah, like my priority right now is providing for my family.
Yep.
Like I'm busting my tail so that they will never want for anything. And until we get to that point, it's hard to cut it off.
Yeah.
But
That's where I struggle. And I used to. I mean, I played video games like nightly. It was like 9 o'clock. Kids are asleep. I'm on till 2 in the morning playing Call of Duty. And then that game got super gay. And yeah, you Activision.
what were they called to do?
Suck at making games. No, they like I used to play video games, and that was like my way of communicating with my friends, and kind of getting out of the same routine of the only people I talk to is my family, and the only people I see is my family. Like at least I could. And it sounds bad, but it's if you never get out of the loop.
Yes.
You don't take time for yourself. You start to go stir crazy, and then you're like micromanaging everybody in the house, and I hated
Yes.
that I was starting to become that.
Yes.
So like I was, trying to find something, and now I don't give a shit about playing video games ever. Like I like doing this. I found for the first time in probably 7 years, I'm actually enjoying making music again. I had a really long stint there where I didn't want to play music. I didn't have any desire to do it. I was just doing it because I was like, oh, well, everybody expects me to. I wasn't doing it for me, and it started to bum my wife out because one of the reasons that her and I met is I was playing at a bar when we met. Well, our friend was playing at it, but I went up and sang a song, and then la da da da.
That explains it because she's way out of here league.
She is so much, but that was something that I think that she knew was me, and I haven't been that. Like every time that I've ever, in the last probably 4 years, I think I've played like 4 shows.
Yeah.
Like I used to play once or twice a week. Now I play 4 shows in 4 years. Aside, I played like a full band thing, but I mean like by myself, like acoustic stuff. I used to do that all the time, and I lost that drive because I didn't want to be away from my family, and I don't care if I was getting paid. I was never in that for the money, and it wasn't something that was a release to like get away to where it was like self for myself. It used to be. I used to enjoy it. But that shit got old.
Priorities change though.
Yeah.
That it got old. My priorities changed. I didn't care about making a dime doing it. And this is the first time that I don't care about making a dime doing it. I am obsessed with the stuff that I've been like, I'm so wrapped up in it.
That's awesome.
But then finding the time.
Do it. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I mean,
needless to say, I'm going to do that because it's what I want to do because it makes me feel good. So we're just going to have to find AI to edit all these.
we'll get there.
And its name is Joe.
I mean, this one, we probably don't have to edit shit on this.
No.
Like, it'll just be long, but who cares? It's
Yeah.
good. And then, so I mean, like, priorities change. Part of my me time is going to the beach with my wife and daughter.
Same.
Like,
Not to the beach, but
Yeah.
doing things with my family is
Yeah. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
satisfying to me.
like, my wife can't swim, and Amelia loves the ocean. So that's really me and her time.
Yeah.
And I don't get a lot of that because she doesn't give a about me. Dude, she loves Petco. You'd think she was going to the zoo. She wants to go to Petco all the time. And my wife needed a break. And I'm like, Amelia, let's daddy-daughter day. Let's go to Petco. And she goes, no, Petco? And she looks at mommy, and she goes, you stay here. I'm like, hey, you. Like,
My idea, right?
I'm the one doing it. No, but what I was really like, I was like, Amelia, daddy wants to spend time with you. I guilted her. Why don't you love daddy? No, I did not say that either. Before people. No, I literally just say, but Amelia, but I've missed you all week. I've had to work. Daddy wants to just spend time with you. So yeah, daddy wants to go. Come on, me and you. And then like literally in Petco, she's hugging on my leg. She's just so happy.
Yeah.
But yeah, those priorities change as well.
Thank you all for tuning in to episode 4 of the Papa Do Preach the Dad podcast. I want to thank our guest, Andrew Savage, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
A lot of good
very
insight,
much,
dude. You were able to kind of reciprocate some of my feelings, which validated mine as a stepdad as well. So
Awesome.
appreciate you being here, dude.
No, thank you. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you guys. Appreciate you watching and listening. Bye.